Welcome to Mercy's Designs. My name is Mercy and I demonstrate Stampin' Up products. Today I'm going to bring you this little cute card and how I made it. It's from the brand new Birds and Branches. And I'm also going to bring in Tasteful Touches, which is also a new set for stamping inside. I used the rectangle stitch dies, the second largest and the third largest for these layers right here. Now the DSP is in Good Taste, it's called, and it's a brand new DSP that's coming out June 3rd. So I am going to start with a little bit of stamping, and I have already loaded my Stamparatus up, so I'll bring that in so you can see that and back up a little. So this is a really time-saving technique to use your Stamparatus. What I do is I initially stamp on a scrap paper, and then I have the die cuts and re-pop them back in. This really makes a big difference for my stamping, and I can do mass production a lot easier because with this way I already know each time it'll be lined up correctly. All right, so I'm just putting a little support under, and this is the soft suede, and I'm going to stamp my branches and the bird. And soft suede, this is Pool Party, and this is what I'm going to stamp the eggs. So this first one will stamp the outlines here, and then I have, see, sometimes it will stick, but that's okay. I can line it back up. And now I'm going to do this right side, this right plate. And I have a little ink spot here, and this will help me get in a fine area. The ink spots are really useful for this because I don't want to get on here. Now, I don't think I have a Calypso coral one, but I'm just going to be careful. And this is a little easier because I have this side that's free. But this one I would be hitting the hinges, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly stamp this right here, and ta-da. Okay, so I will set this aside. Okay, so we're back here, and now I'm going to quickly stamp a little bit of the Pear Pizzazz, these little leaves that are missing. Ooh, sorry, I bumped my screen. So I have this little stamp here. The photopolymer make it so easy to line things up. When I fall in love with red rubber, then I fall back in love with photopolymer and vice versa. But you definitely can't beat being able to see through a stamp. Okay, so that's how it looks now. And by the way, this is Pear Pizzazz I just used, if I didn't mention that. So now we can start building. I'm going to go ahead and adhere to our mat here. So this is Pear Pizzazz mat, and I'm just going to use a little bit of Tombow. I love the wiggle room that liquid glue provides. So here we go. Right here, just trying to make it straight, but it is a little bit forgiving because I end up having this at an angle. Okay, so now I would bring the nest in. Now I have already stamped the nest, and I put dimensionals on the back just to save a little time, but you will need a nest, and it does come with a die to cut this out. I absolutely love these dies. They have so much on it, so many different options. I'll bring that in real quick to show you. So you have this border one, which I have used, this amazing circle, these little die cuts of the birds facing mirrored images. Well, they're slightly different as well. And then you can cut out, of course, these birds, and you have this branch and the nest and the eggs and the feet. It just goes on, and a flower and a heart. So absolutely fabulous set. if you do love the set, make sure you do get the dies because they're well worth it. Okay, so I'm just going to try to put this down lightly, but it's resting on the branch. Now I'm going to quickly color this, and I will speed this up. It's using Calypso Coral and Gray Granite. Here's the finished little colored bird, and as you can see, it's extremely fast. So I'm going to bring in a few dimensionals. You don't need a ton. Just taking off the backs as I go. That saves time. If you're trying to take them off after you've applied them, it takes a little more time, I find. Okay, so I am just going to, at this point, rest this bird right here, and then I'll start working on adding the eggs. So here's I think these eggs are the same size. I'm not sure 100%, but I think they are. And I am largely casing this card from the annual catalog. They had a beautiful little scene there that was similar. So if you haven't seen the annual catalog, you'll know if you have seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, you'll see it eventually. And then you can see this is largely a case card. But I did change some things up and made it my own. I definitely, added these using the rectangle frames, and I used gray granite instead of crumb cake and that sort of thing. So, okay, so here are the little feet, and I do like the placement that I have. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere this, and you have a second, to wiggle in place. So if you want, you can use your pokey tool or an eraser, and that will help. Okay, so I'm happy with that. That looks very cute. Now, one of the things I'm constantly forgetting is to add an embellishment. So while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to go ahead and add these metallic pearl. So I'm just going to put this by note, and I think that picks up on the gray granite quite nicely. All right, so our base is Flirty Flamingo. Now I know it's different than the Calypso Coral, but I really liked how it looked. And who's to say we can't change things? We don't have to be completely matching. It's all kind of in the same family. It's just a little more pink than the Calypso Coral. So it's somewhat similar though. Close enough anyhow. And I do have plenty of Calypso Coral. It's not that. I just like the way this looked. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the catalog example, they also used the Flirty Flamingo. But who knows? I will have to look that up. All right, so here we have okay, I'm going to put this straight, and then I'm going to just offset this. So now we're going to stamp inside the card. Now this is where I am going to go ahead, bring in the beautiful feather from Tasteful Touches. So this is the stamp set. So we're going to we'll bring in a plain Whisper White of, I think it's 4 inches by 5 1/4. All right, so I'm going to bring my gray granite, because I want this to be really subtle. If you wanted it darker, definitely go for your soft suede. Both are beautiful. So this feather is just so beautiful. I love feathers, so I don't think anyone doesn't like feathers. And then it says, "You are the best," and this is also from the Tasteful Touches. So I'm going to attempt to make this as straight as possible. And I think that's really a nice message. So all I have to do is add it to the inside, and we're done. So you can see how this could be really mass produced very quickly by using the Stamparatus. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. If you subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell for notifications. Also, if you have any stamping needs, please keep me in mind and I will help you. Please email me at mewants3@gmail.com and I'd be happy to help you place an order with a host code. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, this is with the birds and branches with the matching dies and tasteful touches. Thank you again for watching. Happy stamping!